image shows the forward superstructure of the USS Arizona engulfed in flames and thick smoke, following the surprise Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on the morning of December 7, 1941. This devastating assault marked a pivotal moment in world history, drawing the United States into World War II. The USS Arizona, a Pennsylvania-class battleship, suffered a catastrophic explosion when an armor-piercing bomb detonated in her forward ammunition magazine, instantly killing 1,177 of her 1,512 crew members and causing the ship to sink rapidly. The fire and destruction captured in this photograph symbolize the chaos and scale of the attack, which resulted in the deaths of over 2,400 Americans and the loss or damage of numerous naval vessels and aircraft. Today, the remains of the USS Arizona rest at the bottom of Pearl Harbor and serve as a solemn memorial to those who lost their lives on that tragic day. The photo depicts a harrowing scene from the Warsaw Ghetto uprising in 1943, one of the most significant acts of Jewish resistance during the Holocaust. In this image, Jewish civilians, including women and children, are being forcibly marched down a street by armed German soldiers amid the systematic destruction of the Warsaw Ghetto in Nazi-occupied Poland. The uprising began on April 19, 1943, when Jewish resistance fighters launched a desperate revolt against German efforts to deport the remaining ghetto inhabitants to extermination camps. Despite being vastly outnumbered and outgunned, the resistance held out for nearly a month before the Germans crushed the rebellion, burning buildings, killing thousands, and deporting survivors to death camps such as Treblinka. This image captures the tragic final chapter of the Warsaw Ghetto and stands as a stark reminder of the brutal oppression faced by Jews during the Holocaust. The photograph shows a Japanese destroyer moments after being struck by a torpedo, as seen through the periscope of a U.S. Navy submarine, either the USS Wahoo, SS-238, or the USS Nautilus, SS-168, in June 1942 during World War II. This image captures the intensity and precision of undersea warfare in the Pacific Theater. The USS Wahoo, commanded by the legendary Lieutenant Commander Dudley "Mush" Morton, and the USS Nautilus, an older but still effective submarine, were actively engaged in offensive patrols against Japanese naval and merchant shipping during this time. The image, taken during or shortly after the pivotal Battle of Midway in June 1942, illustrates the growing strength and strategic effectiveness of the U.S. Navy's submarine force. The damage visible to the Japanese destroyer signifies the vulnerability, even of heavily armed warships, to stealthy submarine attacks, which played a crucial role in undermining Japan's naval capabilities throughout the war. The photograph depicts wounded American soldiers of the 16th Infantry Regiment, 1st Infantry Division, awaiting evacuation at Colleville-sur-Mer, Normandy, France, on June 6, 1944, D-Day. These men were among the first assault troops who landed on Omaha Beach during the Allied invasion of German-occupied France in World War II. Facing intense machine gun fire, artillery barrages, and heavily fortified German defenses, the 16th Regiment suffered heavy casualties in the early hours of the assault. The image captures the grim aftermath of their landing, as the wounded lay on stretchers or the ground, showing the physical and emotional toll of the battle. Colleville-sur-Mer, located just inland from Omaha Beach, served as a critical evacuation and triage point, where medics provided urgent care before transporting the injured to field hospitals. This scene symbolizes the bravery and sacrifice of the American forces during one of the most pivotal and costly operations of the war. This historic photo shows a dramatic moment during the Battle of the Philippine Sea in June 1944, where a Japanese aircraft is seen crashing into the sea after being shot down while attempting to attack the USS Kitkun Bay, CVE-71, a Casablanca-class escort carrier of the United States Navy. This battle, part of the broader campaign for control of the Mariana Islands, marked one of the largest aircraft carrier battles in history and a decisive victory for the United States. The USS Kitkun Bay was actively involved in launching air support for amphibious landings and repelling enemy air assaults. The image captures the intensity of aerial combat as U.S. naval gunners and fighter planes successfully defend the fleet against waves of Japanese attackers. This battle significantly weakened Japanese naval aviation, earning the nickname the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot, due to the disproportionate losses suffered by the Japanese. The scene immortalized in this photo highlights both the danger faced by naval forces and the strategic turning point this battle represented in the Pacific War. This photo captures a tense and action-filled moment on April 17, 1943, as U.S. Coast Guardsmen aboard the USCGC Spencer, WPG-36, observe a massive underwater explosion caused by a depth charge detonation during anti-submarine warfare operations in the Atlantic Ocean. The Spencer, a Treasury-class cutter, was assigned to escort and protect Allied convoys from the persistent threat of German U-boats, which were wreaking havoc on transatlantic shipping routes. On this particular day, the Spencer was engaged in a deadly cat-and-mouse chase with U-175, a German submarine that had attempted to infiltrate the convoy. After a series of calculated depth charge attacks, the submarine was forced to surface, where it was ultimately destroyed in a brief but intense engagement. The successful attack resulted in the sinking of U-175, marking a significant victory in the ongoing Battle of the Atlantic. The image symbolizes the bravery and vigilance of the Coast Guard during one of World War II's most critical naval campaigns.